Hey there, Mel C here. I am so honored to have my dear friend and business coach, an award-winning speaker, coach, international best-selling author, Julie Jones is in the house.
Woo! Yes, I am.
I was wondering if you would bring out the glasses.
Oh, you know it. Listen, if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong, right?
Oh my
In my
God.
opinion, my opinion.
Yes, so true. So you've built, your thriving business on helping other entrepreneurs and high achievers get out of their own way and take massive action. I can attest to that, having firsthand experience of that. Um, I also want to give a little tidbit. You have been an author of the very first Six Figure Chicks book. You're the OG Six Figure Chick. Um,
The OG. And that is like original gangster, not old gal. So like let's just get clear on that right off the bat.
Yeah, thanks for clearing that up. Oh my gosh. I love it that you've like just helped pave the way for this movement. And we're gonna dive into that experience and how it impacted your journey in a little bit. But first up, so we feel it all the time, that moment of I don't know if I can do this or I don't want to do this anymore. Take us back to one of those challenging times in your journey that may have been your roadblock to the success.
It always goes back to the fact, and it was actually in my own book, the chapter that I identified as face the fear and do it anyway. And I think for all of us, myself included, is the fear of the unknown. Like, how are people going to accept you? How are people going to respond to you? Like, do you know enough to be out there to be actually, mentoring and supporting and coaching other people? So the fear is a big one, but at some point, you just say F it, F it, and you just move forward and you start taking action. And that's what I encourage people to do. And it doesn't have to be like huge action right away. I mean, I remember like the first thing was just making the decision that this is what I was going to do. I remember I actually launched my LLC during COVID. So what happened was is that I was ready in March of 2020 to do my very first live event. And I was in the process of like finding a location, securing a location, all the stuff that goes along with that. Then COVID happened, and I'm like, now what? Now
Mm.
what do I do? So I quickly just put it out there that I was going to do an online event in April of 2020. Put it out there, didn't know what I was really doing with advert. I didn't know what I was doing. See, like that's another
Yeah.
great tip. Like start before you're ready. I didn't know. So I just put it out there. I had 27 people register for my very first event. And from that event, I got my first three clients,
Oh,
paying clients, right? Because
yay.
I had been coaching for a while in a volunteer capacity, and I knew I had the skill set, but it's, asking for that money. And the fact that three people were like, we're in, like they raised their hand, like, what does it look like to work with you? Was all the fuel I needed. And again, it's not been an easy road all the time. Lots of ups and downs, lots of challenges, including my husband passing away last year, which was a big challenge because I put a lot of my business on hold because my focus was on him. And now I'm in the process of getting back out there and letting people know that once again, Julie Jones is available for all of your coaching support as well as a keynote speaker.
Yeah. And to top that off, you now have support um, in your husband's business, right? So that's an added layer of, pressure and perfectionism, trying to make sure that you're doing the best job that you can do to support that business and the people in it. Like,
Well, and here's the thing, quite honestly, Mel, like if I hadn't taken the journey myself, like taken the decision to just jump in and run my own business. One of my clients ended up being an HVAC company, not my husband's. That's the other business we have, but I had someone hire me and I was able to support him and his company. And now it leads me to running my husband's, air conditioning and heating company. And do I have all the answers? No. However, I'm very resilient. And every time like a door closes, I find another door to open. And I just keep moving forward, moving through and putting, my faith and trust in God. I believe in God. And, I mean, it's like just putting it out there and saying, okay, what next? And listening for the answer and just moving forward.
Yeah, definitely. Mind over matter. But so with that said, if you could go back and give your pre-Julie, pre-roadblock Julie self one piece of advice, what would that be?
The phrase comes up because I've also been, told that I'm the just do it gal, right? So it's like
Yeah.
just do it. And don't worry about what everybody else is going to think, because I have come to believe that people are so entrenched in their lives and what's going on for them that they're not necessarily paying attention to everything around them. And one of the things I now tell the story, but I love this story, and you probably heard it, is that if the Grim Reaper came knocking at your door and said, Mel, it's time to go, like your time is over. No, 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 I don't want to go. Let my friend Julie take my place. And you call me, and I'm like, hell no, Mel. Hell no, Mel. Like I have a lot of living left to do. And it just reminds me that, somebody won't take our place in death. So why do we allow them to live for us? Right, is really the bottom line. And so we take opinions and beliefs and all these other things that people say to us to heart. It's like, stop doing that. Just stop it. And,
Stop it.
go out there and you are a gift and just be the best version of you. That's all anyone is asking for.
Yeah, most definitely. And that kind of ties into like your business growth strategy, right? Of like being able to just take action. You know, just do it. Ask questions for sure. Like have business coaches, have mentors, have an amazing circle of influence around you constantly so that you have those powerful people to really ask questions with of like, you don't have to know it all. Like you said, just do it.
That's it. And you make a really good point about find the people who have walked the path before you. And don't be the smartest person in the room, because then there's no room for growth
Yeah.
and there's no opportunity to level up. See, I love to be around amazing people that are going places and doing big things because their energy like gleans off onto me a little bit, but then it also inspires me, like what else could I be doing? And in my journey, I've also realized that there's an importance of slowing down. So I'm not running around like a chicken with my head cut off all the time. I'm working smarter. I'm leveraging those relationships that I've built all these years and tapping in to other people as my resource to say to me like, hey, this is what I did. It's like, why reinvent the wheel?
Hmm.
There is enough business to go around for all of us. And I really truly believe that even if you and I were doing exactly the same thing, like my energy attracts different people than yours does.
Yeah.
And that's just the way of the world. And it's when we operate from that scarcity mindset that really creates a lot of the issues, the
Mhm.
competition amongst us when we operate from scarcity rather than abundance.
Yeah, most definitely. And talking about the community as a trailblazer in the first Six Figure Chicks book, how has being an author in that book and other books that you've been a part of and done yourself, helped increase your visibility and credibility?
Well, it's like the new business, I guess, business card. It's the new calling card, right? Like I really truly believe that twofold. Number one, I never thought I was a writer or never thought I would be an author, right? So it was again facing that fear and just doing it anyway. And as you can see behind me, I have a whole shelf of books now that, my first book, Stop Waiting, Start Living. And then, of course, I've been parts of other collaborations, including, I believe, Six Figure Chicks might have even been my second book, that I put myself
Hmm.
out there, right? Now, my goal this year is to write a completely solo book.
Oh,
and about my, my journey of life and loss, and how my husband comes to still visit me and is still part of my life, even though he's, in a different plane, a different, energetic level. And books give you this like level of credibility that you may not realize or recognize may have been missing. So people are always impressed when they hear that you're an author, because, deep down they want to be one too, but they think to themselves immediately, oh, I could never do that.
I can't do
And
it.
there's room for growth for all of us to be authors, because we all have a story to share, and it's putting yourself out there. And I think that's the other thing that sometimes holds people back, is the vulnerability of being out there and sharing your story. But it's sharing those stories that connect us really truly with other people, and that attracts those people into your world that you want to have part of your world.
Yeah, right. And exactly like you said, everyone has a story. And I think that that's something that holds other people up is that, oh, I don't have a story, or my story isn't, worthy of being written in a book. And it's so not true because everyone has, like you said, a different connection to someone. And the readers are exactly the same. That's why it's so amazing with book collaborations. There's so many different stories that anyone can relate to at least one or more, that they just may not feel that instant connection or personal relationship with that story, but they can with another. And it
Because you
doesn't
see
matter.
yourself in every story. Like every story that I've read, in the original Six Figure Chicks and then the second one that got released, is that, you read the stories and you see yourself in that story. Like, oh, I had that experience, or wow, like if I didn't have that experience, how has it inspired me to continue to move forward? And again, for so many of us, we don't need stages. Like you don't need all of this like huge like lights and fame and everything else. We all have a ripple effect in our own community. So even if you just write the story for yourself and to share with a few people, you'd be surprised at how that will make an impact even in your own personal life.
Yeah, personal and professional empowerment as the words are there forever. It's a lasting marketing piece, a memorabilia, legacy that you can leave forever. Like you said, it's the new business card because it's never going to be thrown away. Like all those business cards will be someday. Okay,
That's
look at
right.
me. I'm a little bit of a rhyme. Okay, so speaking of which, thinking about like, the solopreneur, small business owner, we're doing it ourselves. Um, I had a friend the other day share her go-to song, which was Cry to Me by Solomon Burke. And it was a
Okay.
remix, but it was, just a really good tune, good beat. I played it and I was sitting at my desk working and I was like dance party for one at my desk. So that got me to think, what would be awesome is to know what's your go-to hype song when you need the motivation to keep going.
I love the song Hall of Fame by The Script. It's an
Hmm.
older song, but like one of the verses is like, about bright lights and living in the Hall of Fame, do, right? It's just like, because all of us are famous in our own right. Like we're
Yeah.
all doing things in our own life that are stage worthy, that are bright light worthy, movie screen worthy.
Yeah.
It just may not always be picked up by the media. But, again, it's the impact that you're having around the people that you're closest to. And so I love that song. I love, love, love that song.
Yay. Cheers
In
to
fact, after this podcast, I'm going to have to listen to it and get myself like, I'm going to get all jazzed up.
I know, because you still have a full day of productivity.
Yeah, I know. Because we're recording this. It's like 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, woohoo, what else am I going to get to do today?
Yay. Well, you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, Julie, last but not least, where can people connect with you and learn more about your awesomeness?
The easiest way is my website, which is juliejones.biz, B-I-Z, and you can find me. You can book a free 30-minute call with me. You can find all my social media connections. Like there is so much on that website, and you'll get the true essence of who I am.
Yes, and I highly recommend everyone listening, everyone seeing this recording to definitely connect with Julie. She's well worth the tons of knowledge and expertise that she's going to give you. I value you, Julie Jones, and thank you for everything that you've given.
Well, I love you, Mel C, and I'm so grateful that I am on this podcast with you and just sharing a little bit of information. So I got the hearts, and I'll put one last shot of me with my trademark googly eyed glasses.
Woohoo! Two for one, more the fun. All right, guys, until next time, keep pushing, keep growing, and remember, together we rise.